Hello and welcome to today's program. Fascioscapulahumeral muscular dystrophy and falls. Let's talk about that for a minute or two today. I was diagnosed with this disease in the fall of 1984, 34 years ago this month, October of 84. I was 14 years old. The primary symptom I was showing then, which prompted me to go to a doctor, was my left leg began collapsing out from underneath me and I would fall. Just no notice, no warning, just all of a sudden it would just buckle and I would fall. Now, if you have the FSH MD, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I know that some patients with FSH are not affected in their legs, and that is very awesome if you're not. I know some are. So this video is for those that are. So I had dozens of falls over those years. I began using a wheelchair part-time. My first year in college in 1988, I was 18 years old. And the campus was, relatively large. Too big for me to walk across without falling a lot. So I got me a three-wheeled scooter. But on short distances, I walked with help, with a stick, or by holding someone's arm. I walked until March of 2010. Now, don't ask me why, but this is how it happened with me. On March the 15th, 2010, I woke up, or March 16th, I was able to walk on March 15th. So I guess on March 16th, 2010, I was no longer able to bear weight. I couldn't stand up. That was it. Just overnight. Boom. But during those years that I did walk, I had a lot of falls. Now, I never broke a bone, thankfully. But I have krilled a lot of ankles. Got a lot of knee scrapes and cuts and bruises and knots. I remember getting my car serviced. This was about 1994, about 10 years after my diagnosis. And I just parked my car. I was getting ready to walk into the customer service area where I was going to sit down. And I hadn't taken a couple of steps, and I went down and I face planted on the left side of my cheekbone, right about in here. I hit the pavement so hard that literally I bounced off of the ground and it stood me almost straight back up. Face planted, pow. Of course, everybody there was several people there that watched that, and they thought I'd broken my neck and busted my face, but it bruised it, but broke the skin a little bit, but they called the ambulance, and I went to the hospital and whatnot, and I had a concussion, but that was it, thankfully. That was one of the worst falls I ever had. Another fall I had was I was staying at a friend's house, him and his wife. We were going to do some stuff that weekend, so I was going to stay there with him. And this lady had a throw rug down, and it was on a slick wood floor. This was around 1989, 90. So this was early in my diagnosis. I'd only had it 6 years. Well, I'll be darned. I got on that throw rug and it's slipped. And once that slipped, I had nothing under me. And I went right down on my left leg and it just bent like you push a pair of pliers together. My knee went like that. Just like you push a pair of pliers together. I thought I had ripped my knee open. Not because of the cut, but because of the stretching of the tendons and the muscles and the bones and everything in there that stretched when my calf was absolutely touching the back of my thigh. And all of my weight went down on that. Boom. And that hurt. Not only right then, it took me about 2 months to recover from that one. I never went to a doctor, but that hurt. And I've had other falls. When I was in high school, I would fall and sometimes skin my elbow, skin my knee, all of that. And one time I fell. I wore a left leg brace my sophomore, junior, and senior year of high school. And in my junior year, I fell so hard down on my left leg, it broke my brace. It just broke it. Had to get a new one. But as I said, I never got seriously hurt, and I'm thankful. Now, this last fall I'm going to share with you, I could go on and on about falls. But this one was bizarre. So this happened about 6 years ago. I was in the wheelchair full time. I hadn't walked in a couple of years. So I was sitting on, when I pee, I scoot up on the edge of my wheelchair and do my business, then I scoot back. Well, this particular night, I was in a hurry. I was in the middle of doing something, and I had to get back to what I was doing. So after I got done peeing and all that, I was still sitting on the edge of my chair when I rolled out of the bathroom, and the battery of my chair went dead. Like had my chair in full throttle. I mean, I was going pretty quick for a wheelchair. And I was going so fast, and I was sitting so close to the edge of that seat that it threw me into the floor. Again, I got hurt, but I didn't get seriously hurt. What it did, the way I landed right in the door jamb. And my caregiver, I hollered, I said, "I'm in trouble over here." And my caregiver come and saw the mess. My face was down on the floor. I could not push myself up. My head and face was in that door jamb. My knee was crumpled in between the wheel and the wheelchair and on the floor, and that hurt. And so my shoulder was all in there too, so I didn't go to the hospital or nothing like that. But that was probably the most bizarre fall I'd had. So even if you're in a wheelchair, you've got to be careful and maintain a safety mindset. Because I had no idea, although I'd been using a wheelchair since 1988, that the battery, would die like that, and it had that much force to throw me into the floor. So, yeah, if you've got FSHMD and you've had falls, if you want to share some of them on this video, I think I have the comments disabled on this channel for other reasons, but hopefully so you can't comment. I just thought about that. So you can email me though, vaughnhanshaw@gmail.com. I'll try to have the email address on here if I can think of it. if I can remember that. But I hope this video has helped you. And just be careful when you're out there. And I mean, I say that, and I know that if you got this disease, I mean, you can be as careful as you can be, but randomly, you're just going to fall if you're still walking. So anyway, I just want to share that with you all. If you like my channel, hit that subscribe button. That's all I've got. You all take care now. Bye-bye.